Let me guess. You walked into a room, confident, purposeful. You stopped and your brain said, nope, not where am I, not who am I, but the most unsettling question a human can ask. Why am I standing here like I just spawned? Congratulations, you've just experienced one of the most common, most confusing, and most humbling brain failures known to humanity. And no, it's not because you're getting old, even though in that moment your knees emotionally aged 20 years. Today, I'm going to explain how this happens, why your brain does it on purpose, and how to stop it from ruining your life one doorway at a time. And by the end of this lecture, you'll never walk into a room the same way again. Take a seat. This one is personal. Now picture this. You're sitting comfortably, mind relaxed. Then suddenly, clarity strikes. Oh, I need my phone charger. This isn't a weak thought. This is a confident, motivated thought. You stand up immediately. No hesitation. This is productivity at its peak. You walk toward the room with purpose, with direction, with the quiet confidence of someone who knows exactly what they're doing. You reach the doorway, you step inside, and everything is gone. No memory, no mission, no charger. Just you, standing there, staring into the distance like a character in a video game whose controller batteries just died. You look around, you wait, nothing. And then your brain asks the most disrespectful question imaginable. Why are we here? This moment feels random, but it's not. It has a name. Scientists call it the doorway effect. And yes, the fact that it has a name means it happens so often that researchers finally said, we need to talk about this. Here's how it works. Your brain doesn't store thoughts in one giant pile. It organizes them by context. And one of the strongest context markers your brain uses is physical space. Rooms. When you're in one room, your brain opens a mental folder. Inside that folder are your thoughts, intentions, and tasks. But when you walk through a doorway, your brain says, new environment detected. And instantly, it does something brutal. It closes the previous folder. No warning. No autosave. Just gone. Your brain treats doorways like chapter breaks. New room, new scene, new mental state. Old thoughts, archived. That's why walking back to the original room often fixes everything. You step back in, the charger. The thought didn't disappear. It was just stored in the wrong room. Your memory didn't fail. Your context changed. Now here's where it gets interesting. Your brain isn't malfunctioning. It's doing exactly what it evolved to do. Thousands of years ago, entering a new space could mean danger, a predator, a threat, something unfamiliar. So your brain developed a system that says, whenever the environment changes, drop everything and reassess. New sounds, new smells, new movement. Your brain shifts focus from thinking to surviving, which means your task, no matter how important it feels, becomes secondary. So technically, you didn't forget because you're distracted. You forgot because your brain chose survival over productivity, which is thoughtful, but incredibly annoying. This effect becomes stronger under three conditions. First, fatigue. When you're tired, your brain has less energy to juggle tasks. Second, stress. Stress already consumes mental resources, so there's nothing left to protect your memory. And third, the most dangerous one, multitasking. If you're walking while thinking, scrolling, talking, or replaying a conversation from 7 years ago, your brain gives up immediately. It looks at the situation and says, I cannot manage all of this. Something has to go. And it's never your phone. It's always the mission. Now, here's something that will really mess with you. The more important the task feels emotionally, the easier it is to lose. Why? Because emotional thoughts take more mental space. So when the doorway hits, your brain panics and wipes the whole thing. That's why you forget something important, not small things. Now let's talk about how to stop this. Because yes, there are ways to fight back. The first is surprisingly simple. Say the task out loud. I am going to get the charger. When you speak, your brain treats it like a command, not a thought. Spoken words activate more areas of the brain, making the memory harder to erase. Second, visualize the object before you move. Don't just think charger. Actually picture it, the color, the shape, where it's plugged in. Visualization strengthens the mental file so it doesn't get closed so easily. Third, stop multitasking during transitions. Walking through a doorway while thinking deeply is like carrying an open drink through a roller coaster. Something will spill, and the most powerful trick of all, pause at the doorway, just for 1 second. That pause signals to your brain that the task isn't finished yet. It's like telling your mind, no, don't close this tab. We're still using it. Now here's the part nobody talks about. This doesn't just happen with rooms, it happens with life. Ever start something with motivation, then lose it halfway through? Ever walk into a new phase of life and forget why you started? That's the same mechanism. Transitions confuse the brain. New environment, new routine, new identity, and suddenly your original intention disappears. Not because you failed, but because the mind struggles during change. Sometimes the problem isn't discipline, it's continuity, finishing the thought, carrying intention across transitions. That's why clarity matters. That's why slowing down works. And that's why awareness alone already makes you better at this. So the next time you walk into a room and forget why you're there, don't panic. Don't judge yourself. Just turn around. Go back to where the thought began. Your brain will remember. And if it doesn't, congratulations, you're not broken. You're human. And now you understand how your mind really works. Class dismissed.